Oh, I hope that wasn't like a weird sound. I made like a popping sound with my mouth when I was like, I don't know. I was gonna get started, and then why is this so awkward tonight? Hello, welcome to the VoD. Thank you for watching the VoD. I don't, whatever. It's Friday, man. It's been a long week. It's been a long ass week, but it's been a good week. It's just a lot of going to bed late at night and waking up really early this week. No complaints. Took a few naps throughout the week. Excuse me, but good old solid long week action. Stretch, check posture. Maybe I need like a check posture button in chat. Gunnavolf, you are number 1 in here. Is that, well, you're the first person to comment. There might be lurkers. Nicodemus, hello. Did Twitch ever fix its bot problem? I remember when I first started streaming, which is wild to think that's like years ago now, but like, because I don't really stream, I just do this for development purposes. But I remember I would have like 10 viewers, and it would be 8 of them would just be the same bots that pop in, and I like looked them up. I'm like, are these bots? Give the names, and they're like common bots or whatever. But at least the bots were there. Old consistent friends. Galriz, AJ76, Dadvik, the Dev Trav, Twin Cannon, Faith, Fellowship Fun, Dude in the Basement, 8, not to be confused for the other dudes in the basement, Chaz Solo, Tiny Knee Breaker, Dark Wind, Astranian, BD84, Dankus, Florane, Tiki Wizzy. Hello, everybody. It's your birthday, Tiki Wizzy. Happy birthday to you. How old are you now? You're not a bot, you're a Canaway? What? Is that like a Canadian? I don't know what a Canaway is. Unless it's like I'm a can away from I'm a can away from thinking you look fine. Did I miss anybody before this? Chaz Solo was here. I think I said that. I think I said Dark Wind. Ari 2356. Roger, Tsunami-san. Sup, baby? Nicodemus, 15-minute to 20-minute power naps are actually really strong. Like, when I can actually be disciplined enough to just do the 15, 20, maybe 30 minutes of like power nap and then get up out of it before it gets too deep, those are good. When I go for an hour 15, I wake up, it's worse than starting the day over. Long term, it feels good, but like I come out of it like a pissed off bear. What's up, Sir Nasty, Scala, Teflon? First time chat. What up, money? Evo Supreme, hello. Happy Friday. Didn't NASA do a study and say that 26-minute power naps are most optimal or something? I don't know if they did, but I could have sworn I saw something earlier in the year, like talking about that. Like not in the power naps where you're not even really asleep, even where you're just kind of like out of it for 20 minutes or something. When I like am willing to like be disciplined and come out of those, then it's just like, then I'm good. I'm typically pretty good. What's up, Eric? Biscuitna. Cromlech. Todd said, I'm a big fan of drinking a cup of coffee and then passing out for a 20-minute nap. You wake up as that's metabolizing. You're good to go. That is 100% true. What's up, Redris? Red 6, Abago, Viper, Lorraine, I might have already said it, Corvus. Hey guys. I have no recollection of what happened. I have no recollection of what happened this week. Did I stream earlier in the week? Is this my first stream this week? My only stream this week? I honestly don't know. It's been such a... You're right. That's why. Yeah, because we had like discussions. We're supposed to have like our little meeting that Nick, Ali, and I would get together, try to get together once a week for like a long discussion, go through stuff. And that I think is typically supposed to happen on Monday, but we might have changed it to Tuesday. So then I was available for that on Monday, and then I think something else came up, and it was a discussion on some stuff. I mean, basically the short answer is there's been a lot of like good conversations and discussions and design work, but it's all stuff that either can't really do on stream or don't want to do on stream. You guys got to realize there is stuff. Maybe the folks that are in alpha don't feel as much this way because they get to see a lot of stuff. Because naturally we've got to get it tested, so somebody's got to see it. But for folks that have mainly just been in the open play tests, there's a lot of stuff that you guys very likely haven't seen and may not even be aware of. And then there's stuff that even the alpha folks haven't seen yet. And there's just a lot. Just put it that way. Not trying to overpromise by any means. Not trying to overpromise. What we put on like the early access FAQ and all that. Cool. Follow that. But there's, and it just feels like we're picking up momentum. Like John just said, heck, there's stuff I'm not aware of. There's stuff that people on the team are like, oh shit, where'd this come from? So, Ian Blaze said hello, and then could you show the green tower, please? Because it looks... I can show you from here, but I'm not going to show you up close. But we're getting to the point where we very, very well could, but we won't. So yeah, wait. The last stress test. The stress test was the last time I streamed, right? Like last Saturday. Dude, what a week. I can't believe it. Cicadia, hello. Tsunami-san. Umpax. I like cake. Who else snuck in here? I'm scrolling. Perez, what's up? Verity, thank you for the follow and hello. Sneers, what's going on, dude? Can you give an estimate of how much of the 1.0 game will be ready when you guys drop EA? 10%, 25%, question marks. I think it's fair to say 20%. I think 20% is about a good start. And we may find that scope is just too crazy as we go and we kind of compact some stuff or whatever, and that may change that number. But if I'm just like looking at the zone map, probably 20%, give or take 5. That's a very sloppy estimate, but... Oh, how much... Did you ask how much we're going live with, or how much... will be ready? How much will be ready? Okay, cool. Okay. I was like, no, it's not like there's only 20% left. Lord, no. There's a lot left. And hopefully the end result is it's a place that you love. It's a place that you like coming back to. I think there's Tom made a Blink made a very good like video short out of like comments on this topic, us wanting to come back through and refresh content and add content back in and all of that stuff. And just, you know, really reuse the world and have this be a place that doesn't just go away. And just the scale of like from, you know, basically the West Coast all the way over to the East Coast is, I mean, hopefully it turns out to feel just really epic and you guys love it. That would be cool. Cicada and Money 2517, thank you for the follows. Alundra87 said last stress test was so fun for me. I did 2 minutes of last Wormsbane with a group. Oh, that's so good to hear. Hey, what's up, Zukin? Anybody else? Coot snuck in. Fabrizio snuck in. Hope Nick has a big list of patch notes for us. I know we posted them to the alpha guys. I don't know if we posted them to everybody, but I thought maybe we did. Have any interesting stats metrics from the stress portion of the test in terms of percentage improvements on measurable KPIs the team was spying on? Nerd dev, me curious. Faith, so if you didn't see, we packed 1,026 people into Night Harbor. So that was kind of the peak of the stress test for us, was 1,026 in Night Harbor. I don't know how many people were in the stress test. So you can kind of speak to what you were seeing. It kind of felt like visual lag was hitting people harder than we were getting hit with like server lag or whatever. I think when we were up there at like that range, you know, there were, you know, we could see some lag here and there. For some reason, I thought that it wasn't like unplayable or insanely bad at that range. But I mean, either way, 1,000 people in a zone, in one zone. This isn't on our server. This isn't our server capacity. It's 1,000 people in a zone is, in my experience, at least for a zone-based game, pretty freaking insane. So, Dankus said, will 32 gigs of RAM suffice for M&M? Just upgraded? Yeah, I believe that should be good. The tech nerds can tell you more. I think it's more of a CPU question. Like, I'll be honest. I think until I upgraded my machine, I think I had something like 16. And I went ahead and just splurged and got like 64. Earthy says, I wonder how many players will play during European time. I remember it was a pain early Q1, had to play during the night. That's a good question. We have people asking for an EU server, but it's just, we've really got to see that there's enough people before we do anything like that. I mean, I'll be playing with you. I'm in Germany. What's up, Robert? Dude in the basement said, I'm so excited for this game, though. In a world that gets scary every day, me personally not having a whole lot to enjoy, look forward to. This is an absolute blessing. I'm excited, very excited that so many people feel the same way. Hey, I'm glad we're here. We're able to like provide you a space and come in and chill out and not think about the world and all that stuff. So, yeah, come hang out with us. Cryptic333, thank you for the follow. Kama77 says, the last stress test was my first time playing and now I'm addicted. Counting the days, hours, minutes until the 10th. Hey, how did you find us? What have you played before? What's your background? tell us everything about yourself while you're typing all that up. Hopefully not on your phone. Then I'll be catching up and then I'll read it. Visual lag dropped my FPS to 2530, but I didn't have any server lag. Well, it really hit my FPS. So you definitely got a better setup than I do, but yeah, I felt like it wasn't crazy in terms of, you know, like server lag and all that stuff was pretty good. So that's cool. And then we'll continue to work on like optimizations on the clients and visual optimizations. Will there be more chances to get in when the game goes from closed alpha to closed beta? I have horrible luck trying to win a key. Freak, yeah. What's up, Primus? Join a cult. Kaikazam said, I had a little inventory lag, but that was it. Ran really well for how many people were in the zone. That's great to hear. I mean, 1,000 people in the zone is not what we plan on doing all the time. 1,000 people in the zone is it's an abnormal situation, and this is a crazy zone to do it in because there's like 1,500 NPCs on top of that or something. All sorts of volumes, which I might get back into like putting some more in tonight, depending on if I can even concentrate. Honestly, any hardware questions you have, I suck so bad at this stuff. I'm such a Luddite. I'm just the front man, to be honest. I am a humble orc salesman. Ask in Discord, and or ask some of the guys in here that know tech better, and they'll be able to tell you whether or not your machine's good. Yeah, so I just explained this on Discord to some people that were asking. As you can see, we've been focused on server optimization, right? Like server networking. So hitting over 1,000 people in a zone. Again, that's not on the server. If we ran out of people, if we had more people, we could have distributed them in the world theoretically and had our 1,000 people in the zone, and we're good to go, right? It was one of the first questions I asked Ali afterwards. Was like, all right, well this is pretty crazy, and just to clarify, it's like we're not, we've been zone bound, we're not server bound, right? He's like, yeah, no, server's no problem, right? So in theory we can have, we'll see, we're more truly content bound than anything, but if we had all of our various zones and stuff up, it's looking like we should be able to run pretty well with thousands and thousands of people, which is nice. It's reassuring. So now we just got to get the content going. Hey Sparrow, what's going on? Anyway, the thing that I was mentioning on Discord is we've been focused on that part of it, and now we know there are like memory leaks in the client. Ali and Chip and Sean, different Sean and the guys, Gazik, they'll be able to start tackling that stuff as well. Not that they haven't been tackling memory leaks and stuff the whole time. What's up, Esan? Pipes. Swanee, hello. Did I miss? I want to go back up. Who was I asking the question of? Comma 77. Let me scroll through and find comma 77. Is there a reply from comma? There we go. Watched ranks. Play a couple tests and was reluctant. Not sure why, because I regret not playing sooner. My first MMO was EQ in 2001, then EQ2, then WoW, and a few others. My favorite class of all time was Enchanter, and doing the things like Mez, etc. that are lost in today's MMOs. Okay, cool. Cool. So you're coming to us with a background in these types of games, so that's good. It's nice to see the mix of people that we're getting, like people that have never played a game like this before, and then people that are kind of veterans of the MMO genre all the way back to the olden days. Hyper Taco asks, what do you expect for a server population? What's your goal? Honestly, it's really a question of content. I could throw like a crazy number out there. I don't know if it'll hold up. I don't know if it's legit, if it ultimately will make sense. But like, again, are we talking like a CCU? What is our concurrent user count goal? We don't really have one. We just want to be able to support as many as possible and stuff as many people in the world as possible and have as much content to support that and really have this nice, really huge and robust community on each server. I mean, if we have 1,000 people just in Night Harbor, again, there's no that's too many people for the content that's available. But it's you know, in theory we could support a CCU of like, you know, like concurrent peak of 6,000, 8,000. Once the game is like at 1.0, it's going to be a pretty big world. So, but I could be completely off. You guys could watch a clip of this in a couple years and just be like, what was he smoking? And then think about it like this. This is a conversation I was just having with some another team right before this. Keep in mind, like CCU is always a fraction. So your concurrent user count is always a fraction of the total number of players that played that day. And then that's a fraction of the total number of players that played that month, because some people will play like a couple days a week, you know, a few days a week or whatever. And some people log in for an hour, log out. Some people log in for 12 hours, right? And put the skooma down. Yeah, you can say it later if I'm completely off base. And so the thing that you'd see is, if you see a game that's got like 1,000 concurrent players at peak, it's very possible that they had 4,000 players that day. Often it'll be a number like that, about 4,000. So if you see 1,000, it's 4,000. And then if you see 4,000 that day, it may be like around 16,000 for the month, right? And that's based off 1,000. And so that's not like an uncommon. And now those numbers change based on the nature of the game. If it's a game that's got a very short session cycle, you're going to see higher numbers on daily active users and monthly active users. And whoever was asking about KPIs earlier, sorry, I forgot. If you're like a game data, game KPI nerd, you can call me on my bullshit. Like, it may be, maybe you know this to be different or whatever, but like in a mid-core, longer session length game similar to ours, I could imagine it being about like a 4x4. So it's like, take concurrent users, multiply it by 4, get your daily active users, multiply it by 4, get your monthly active users. Is CCU dependent on boxing, or is one user multiple player characters? The way that we would be approaching it, it would be each CCU is an account. If somebody's boxing, they're boxing multiple accounts, right? So that could provide some variability. Let me scroll back up. What's up, J Irish? Majestic. Let's Play, hello. Hopefully I didn't miss too many of you. Is the game more graphics card or CPU intense? I believe it is more CPU intense, Earthy22. But again, to get like a real answer, talk to somebody that actually knows what they're talking about, not me. And that would be like, you know, one of our, pretty much anybody else on the team in Discord or in here. Cryptic, I think I already said thank you for the follow, Cryptic333, but in case I didn't. I like Cake says, honestly, this game in alpha is more functional than many EA Steam games I've played. Hey, that's good to hear. Thank you. What's up, Dark Inside? Sorry, I'm sorry that you have to work, especially on a Friday. What's up, Swingburn? Appreciate the kind words, Dankus. Do you know for the 10-day test will we be limited to one home city like stress test, or no? You can go wherever you want on for the upcoming play test. It's just a play test. Just play however. A game is super centered on social and group dynamics, but my favorite parts are running away into the wild, soloing on my ranger. And we want to provide an opportunity where you might find some interesting shit out on your own, right? Like you might find just a interesting mud action, like you look and find something. Maybe it's because you're there at night. Maybe it's because it was full moons. You may find a thing that no one's ever seen before, right? Like we really want to like lean into that for people that just want to go out and explore. And then you come back to town, you can be social, man. Hopefully there are people running around in their houses and stuff. I in theory will be putting in some more housing tonight, but I don't know, man. I'm frazzled. My brain's fried for the week. Put in some more of these wonderful volumes. It's so nice running around on Alpha and seeing all the wacky names and stuff people are putting on their houses, the different guild names and things like that. So, I got feedback from Alpha that there was a jacked up house here in the market. They had 3 doors. 3 doors that you could rent from, and it was all to the same space. Is it this one? No. Can't be. I never got a follow-up from that individual, so... Like, it was 3 people renting the same space? Surprise! But... I don't know. You know who you are if you're out there. I'm not gonna lie, bank vendor music drives me crazy if I'm using it for a lot in a short time. Toggle will be nice. I guess that's something we could consider. Kind of like a combat music toggle, but... The spawn... Blah, 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 okay. Levels 1 to 10 might be a bit of a bottleneck due to limited starting areas. It'll get better over time as players level up. That is definitely kind of front and center of concerns content-wise for early access. That's definitely up there. I have been putting in more level 1 or level 10-ish camps in Sungreet Strand, so hopefully that helps a bit. Scrolling down, sorry if I missed anything. When you guys drop him in gear, can I suggest a broken-handled giant coffee cup? That would be cute. Pretty custom, though. The Night Harbor Art Commune. Yes, Zukin. You rent a place out, there's already a woman with dreadlocks sitting in there, knitting. The Dev Trav said, Robot, I got a friend to try Eminem. He struggled at first, but once I showed him the Beetle Quest, he got hooked. Tell me about your friend. Has your friend played this type of game before? I'm really looking forward to seeing which cities come next. I know Deep Elf is next, but can't wait to try and guess what might come after. You know what? I hate to ruin the surprise for you. We're going to try to be pretty open about our roadmap on that stuff and the direction that we're taking. We're going to try to be open with the roadmap and hit the roadmap, and yeah. Okay, Lauren TV said, I'm so excited for you guys in this game. That is nice to hear. It feels good. We've been trying to do stuff right, you know? And hopefully Hopefully that ends up being the case. It'd be really cool. It'd be cool just to, you know, do this well. That's kind of that's our motivation. This is not a get rich quick scheme. Obviously, this is not a, oh yeah, we're looking to make a name for ourselves, and it's just a, like, we really just want to make this game. We just think it's a fun game, and then we hope that at the end of it, you know, hope that at the end of it, you guys look at it, and even if you're like, hey, I don't agree with that decision, or I don't agree with the you know, certain things that we're doing, but, and we see this sometimes on Reddit and stuff, and it's really nice. It's like, hey, I don't agree with this, and this, but honestly, I respect the effort, or I respect the game. It's like, that's all we can ask for. John said it's a get rich eventually, maybe, hopefully scheme. I mean, you know what? If we can get to a point where we're getting everybody paid and stuff, that'll be pretty freaking cool. Guardian X99 said, hey Sean, loving the vibe and the quirks. Question and request, y'all have any sleepers like zone entrances in a way where you click something in zone, or hidden zones that require to have a mud in your way? Yeah, we've got some secret stuff already, and we're gonna continue to layer in more secret things. We have, you know, we have some of that stuff, and I think as we're not like just going as fast as we can to try to get the core of the world in place, you'll see more and more of that stuff pop up. The art guys have been really good about, like, they get like a wild, you know, they get a little wild bug that crawls up somewhere, and then they'll be like, hey, I just made a little dungeon, or I made a mini dungeon, and so we have really small, like, mini dungeons. It can be a couple rooms, it can be 5 or 6 rooms, that are easy to kind of plug in as well, and so you start finding them places. So yeah. What's up, Derek? Okay, Lauren, thank you again. Are faction alterations based on your race in yet? Very minorly. That's something we've got to do a big push for prior to EA, and we may tweak it even again for module 1, because then we'll have the Underdogs and we'll have the Deep Elf City, and then we can get really kind of like, you know, if you're up here and you're certain races, then you're not very liked. So Calicon56 said, late joiner to an M&M hype train. Any plans for picks instances so mom spawns aren't locked down long term? No plans for instances. We want to try to tackle that in some other ways, one of which just being scale of the world over time. But no plan for picks or instances. Thank you for finding us now. Hopefully you're actually early on the hype train. Hopefully this isn't the end of the hype train. Hopefully this is the beginning, and then years from now there's still people going, I just found out about this game. Wow, look at this community. And it would be nice to just steadily grow over the years. We're not like looking to come out and do a massive splash. It'd be cool if just, you know, we'd be okay with, I think we had 7,700, just over 7,700 unique players on our last playtest, the last 7-day playtest. And you know what? If we went into early access and it was just 7,700 subs, and we just started there, that's okay. That would be great. That's a good start. And then if it just kind of steadily grew, and then some of those 7,700 people got their ass out of Night Harbor and leveled and got out of the way, and we started backfilling that with new people, that would be wonderful. That's fine. Rucka PD2, thank you for the follow. Seriously considered starting a channel, 10% streaming M&M. People need to know. Hey, we're not going to keep you from doing it. Calicon56, thank you for the follow. You do whatever makes you happy. The dev Trav said he was a WoW player and hadn't really tried any of the older MMOs. He was kind of turned off by stuff like Corpse Runs and Darkness at first, all caps, but once he felt the atmosphere of having to get a torch and showing him the entrance to Worms, Bane really sold the world. Hey, the Corpse Runs are not as bad as people make them. There's a lot of like hyperventilating and theorizing on how bad Corpse Runs are in Discord and stuff, but once you get in, you die a little bit. You get used to it. It's okay. You get used to it. And it's part of the fun. It really is part of the fun. Dolce and Katana, what's going on? Adventure happens from corpse runs. It is true. People argue that that's not the case. I argue that they are incorrect. Do I? Yeah, I might as well just do. Man, it's the first new house of the day. I gotta get my rhythm back. See if chat starts to calm down, I might get something done. We'll see. Don't want to mess this up. House 152. I put in housing in shallow shoals. That's kind of neat. John said, look at No Man's Sky. They hit an all-time high this year, 10 years later. Yeah, New World came out, or not, didn't come out, but New World's had like a nice kind of refresh, rejuvenation. That's pretty awesome. Just got to keep at it. I was just talking to our friends over at Embers Adrift. Those guys are still, dude, they're still cranking away, putting in new stuff in that game. I really want to get in and check it out sometime soon, and maybe have a stream where we catch up with those guys and talk to them about their journey to this point. Those guys are still hammering away, man. A lot of respect for that. Yeah, so it's just a kind of an effort, you know, people keep grinding, and like I said, the last company that I worked at started as a very niche game, very niche, and it grew linearly over the 10 years up until I left there. I was only there for a couple of years, and it was still growing, and they had 450,000 girls playing, different, 450,000 unique players each month. And then when I left, the whole COVID thing kicked off, and it got up to 700,000. Right? So it's like, and it's just steady making the product better and getting the word out and having a defined niche that you own. And yeah. Oh man. Mr. Baraka said, couldn't get into Embers, whereas Eminem hooked me from the first minute. Old timer here started EQ phase 4 beta. I would say with a game like Embers, if you haven't been in lately, go back in and check it out. AOA, yeah, not to forget AOA. I mean, I still have I think it's still, is it? Did I update it to be AOA? I think it might still be, is it? Maybe it is AOA. Does the bot have AOA? Yeah, okay, I updated it. I was like, because I used to have just ECO. So yeah, if you're not aware, and I'll screw up the first name, I always do, but Adrelon Online Adventures. I gotta. I'm not picking them. I am very partial to the old Evercraft name. It was very easy, but AOA is oh, sorry, I just started reading some random shit while talking. AOA, definitely check it out. So it's cool to see the various teams that have just been working on stuff. Oh gosh. Oh crap. I need to change my notification. Ah. Sorry. Sorry, I hadn't updated. Brian. Sorry, he's just my notification for you getting online with stress tests. Are you guys doing another one? It's from last time. My week has just been completely discombobulated. Let me see if I'm getting pinged in Slack. Okay. Usually people in Slack be like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" Quick 5-minute stress test. I wouldn't even know how to do it. Brian, thank you for the heads up on that. Are you saying that if COVID 2.0 were to break out, Eminem would push for you? It would improve our numbers probably, but let's not have that happen. Do you have anything planned for seasonal events in games? Sorry if it's been asked. What's up, Throbgave? Knell 467. Hey, buddy. We want to do like seasonal events and stuff. We really want it to feel in character, right? So we'll be continuing to flesh out the lore of the various seasons and holidays and things in game. Watch. I wonder how many hours it's going to take me just to get this one house implemented. All right, cool. You guys, you've settled down a little bit. The excitement's it's settling in. Everybody's kind of settling into normal chat mode now. I see. Cool. Well, I'll be fixing a bug right now. Oh, I found a bug. That should be 151. Well, good. I just fixed a bug. One bug fixed instantly. Quake is cool, but it's only for raid content, right? Well, I mean, it's not, no, it's not limited to that. It's not limited to that. Because we can hook all sorts of spawns to that system. So I don't think I'm telling lies in saying that. I hear you guys are doing other Quake style events though, like Blood Moon. We've had a Blood Moon on our radar for years. We definitely want to do a Blood Moon. We talk about what that might be, what is it truly? We have seen the Blood Moon. I think we are capable of doing the Blood Moon. We've just got to like really figure out what we want the Blood Moon to do. Let me get my DB set up over here a little bit better. Let me get it all house oriented. Man, I love this game. This was our biome jam, this song. That was such a fun video. That was so inspiring. Rare secret spawns on a blood moon. Oh, that is not a bad idea. Sneak that in there. Some world boss action here and there. Some rare spawns. Maybe flagging the entire server PvP. Full loot. Call it the Purge Moon. Yeah, I could definitely see a number of people just camping out, like nope, noping out, going into their houses, boarding up the windows. Everybody piled in the inns for an hour. That would be, I think that would probably be what would happen. All right, let's get that going. Biome Jam was so fun to commute music. Yeah, sorry, Robert. I don't know that I'm going to be able to talk tonight. It is. I'm kind of at that point. Biome Jam was so fun to compose music for. We should do a new one at some point. That would be cool. Oh, Mini Dungeon Jam. Mini Dungeon Jam. Full loop PvP on a PvE server, people would rage. Oh yeah, it would be horrific. Happiness would not be felt. Any intent for sleeper like mob? Dr. Perry, Dactyl. Kind of a world-changing, once-in-a-lifetime event type mob. Yeah, but maybe be a little more careful on, like, you know, people kind of locking down and farming the warders, and then once they're done farming, killing them, and then other people not having access. Yeah, it was done slightly differently. I think we could see something like that. It's like things that feel a little bit more like a war effort, or like, oh, it moved the server forward in a positive way. Probably a little bit better deal, though. Derelict said, Sean, guess who got a week of PTO for the first week of November approved? Hey, congrats. Throbgrave said, I'm thankful you allow folks to PvP when they're feeling spicy on the non-PvP servers. Please keep that. Oh, for sure. Shooting stars for double loot or full loot or XP bonus while it's happening. If there's a way to do it that makes sense and doesn't feel too gamey, where it's kind of like a free-to-play game. It's like bonus currency for 2 hours. Baron65 says, I always like the concept of certain zones having a debuff, like being watched, and depending on either a timer or some set of factors, an NPC or something comes after you. NPCs coming after you will be a thing to keep an eye out later. Keep an eye out for that later, depending on what you're doing. Have you guys given any information on experience penalties for having group members being too high or low? Brian, I believe I don't know how much we've like firmly discussed, because I also know we've tweaked things over time, but that is a good question to ask in Discord. Beast Within, thank you for the follow. Right, let me continue to set this up in the background very slowly. See if I can knock out a house or two while we chat. I honestly, I was so tired today that I contemplated just playing, but I don't want to dox myself on the alpha server. So I decided not to play. I went to bed last night about midnight. I woke up this morning about 5:30 because my wife had to get ready for work. I contemplated going back to sleep, but really just wanted to log in and play for a little bit. So played over coffee. That was nice. Enjoyed it. Hey there, just in time. Thank you for the follow. I'm scrolling through in the database looking for the next. That's I swear I think I have like nerve damage in this hand more than I realize. Cause that sound you're hearing, that bring bring, was my hand just like pressing down on the keyboard. I don't notice it most of the time. I don't feel it. I mean, I don't feel it on the finger that's gone, but like the other fingers, just I don't really feel it. Like I feel it, but not when I'm. So I'm constantly. I'll look up. I'll look over and I'll be typing like 1,000 A's or something in Slack and be like, oh shit. Music is so well done, Ruckus says. The guy that does our music, our wonderful Robert, the guy that does our music. I don't know that's the best way to describe Robert. Our wonderful dear Robert, who does our music and our audio, who has been with us for a long time now, who is our dear friend and teammate, is in chat. He was in chat. Unless he's in the sauna now. He lives in Finland, so they spend a lot of time in sorry, I just read Robert in the sauna. Robert the MVP. Robert is a hero. Rob Goat. Yes, all of those things are true. Yeah, the music crushes. Totally gets stuck in my head. Love it. Yeah, I mean, we've been listening to it for years, and it's still like, it's my go-to if I'm working, unless I need something like pretty aggressive or whatever. It's just kind of a great go-to to be like, all right. Let me double check something. House 151. Okay, it does go up to 81. Perfect. All right, I found it. Cool. All right, I think we're about set up to start doing these. Robert Bangs Primus says, well, that's none of your business. Music is so nostalgic. The intent. Corinthius said that. Sariad said, I listen to Glass Flats rather frequently myself. I am also Glass Flats enjoyer. Shaded Dunes, music is such a track, Throb Graves says. Music's so good, I was really loving the song playing in Sungry Strand while farming camps. Curly said, hey, it's nice to hear all that love for Robert. It is well earned, well deserved. We love Robert. I have met Robert in real life. I've not met much of the team. I have met Robert. I have met Nick. I have met Swanee. I think that is it. Did you guys sign it together? We did not have the opportunity. We did not have the opportunity. We need like the deep music to be emo or goth AF. I'm just gonna say AF in case children are listening. You're gonna get a variety. The deep has a lot of variety. I am looking forward to the day that we do a deep jungle zone. Excuse me, kind of like a journey to the center of the earth, jungle zone. It's on my list. I want it so bad. Deep jungle. Dinosaurs! For the inner 8-year-old in all of us, dinosaurs! Massive fungal forest? Yes. Javastine, of course, obviously. Must have. Can we have a Stranglethorn, Veil, Unguro Greater type zone? Probably. I think there's probably room for that. Any recent updates on the merch store? Need a mug for pins? No word to no word. The Rondo is here. Let me make you a moderator. Welcome. Kind of what the Awakening Lands felt like to me in EQ Velius. Super primordial. Exactly. Yep, you've been powered up. Welcome to the team, my friend. Speaking of audio, we now have an audio team. We now have a team. We have a massive audio team of Robert and Rondo. Am I saying Rondo correctly? It seems like that's the way you would say it. Okay. Robert Rondo. That is his new stage name. I don't know how else you'd say that. I don't know, man. Viro, you know. I went to public high school in Alabama. Give me a break, son. Alabama Public High School. When I got to Alabama, it was in the 8th grade. And this girl looked at me, she said, "Sean, you sure are long." Long. I was like, "What? How did you know?" No, I was just kidding. I was like, but it was like, "You're tall, so you're long." I was like, "What?" I was so confused about moving. I moved from Florida to Alabama, and I was confused a lot. So we've got the house door. And we kind of went backwards on these house doors. Oh, we're all over the place in the zone with regards to house doors. This is going to be a nice one. If it makes you feel better, I think the native Alabamians are confused a lot too. I think that's fair, Dargith. Lovely people. I do like them. And I feel like, you know, I lived there for a long time compared to most places. I moved around so much that the time I spent in Alabama was like, until I got to, I think, San Diego and then Austin, like the longest I'd ever lived in one place. I was there like eighth grade through my attempts at college. So what would that be? What was that? 80. So like 87, 88 maybe? 88 to 93, and then 93 I joined the army and left. No, 94 I joined the army and left. Bama is pretty pumped about winning over Tennessee this week. I am so out of the loop when it comes to sports. Occasional UFC fight or something will catch my eye, but hold up, he said Florida. Sean is canonically a Florida man. Yes, Lil Quay, I was born in Ocala, Florida. I was born in Ocala, Florida, and my parents moved me to Panama City, Panama, right afterwards for a little bit, about a year or so, and then we went to Louisiana, Fort Polk, Louisiana, for like a year or so, and then we moved to Germany, then back to Florida, back to Germany. Former Orlando born, no longer Florida man's either. You're always gonna have a little Florida man in you. You grew up in Ocala? What a shithole. Hey! Ocala's not bad. Come on, man. I remember one time we moved back because our family lived there, so we'd always kind of go back if my dad was on assignment or something. We'd go back for like a little bit. I think Ocala's pretty. And now the town might be a shithole, but that's where all the horse rednecks are. Good folks. Yeah, I mean Ocala's horse place, nice. We lived in the Ocklawaha National Forest in a trailer for like a year at one point. Ocklawaha National Forest. And basically I could get out of my trailer and I was in Florida forest, and we would just go down to the Ocklawaha River. There's gators everywhere and all sorts of like snakes and just wacky shit. Random cows that would there was like a cow farm, pasture, whatever cows near where we lived, and they just kind of got out. They would just kind of be all over the place, and we'd find dead cows pretty regularly just in the woods, and alligators. Just, oh man, what a trip. My best friend lived right across it was just like one of those 2-lane highways, and we go up the dirt road, go over the highway, and that was where my friend Ed's house was. And Ed just had chickens everywhere and a few horses. Man, it was great. We'd play Super Nintendo. I had Commodore 64. What brought me to Germany? I had a contract at a game company in Hamburg in 2015 and came out here just because I really wanted to get back to Germany. I lived in Germany twice as a kid. So I'd lived in Germany probably a total of like maybe 7 years of my life prior to this. I'd only been back once for the game convention in Leipzig. And just really wanted to get back to Germany and check it out. Live here for a bit. So that's what I did. Spent 2 years in Hamburg, and then from there went to Stockholm, Sweden for 3 years, and then came back here. You live in Leipzig? Leipzig seemed like a cool place. I was only there for like 2 days. Kind of felt like compared to what I was used to, because I grew up in like southern Germany, more Bavaria. And so like Leipzig felt a little more grungy, like a little industrial, that East German vibe. For me, it's like a town, to be honest. So little and cute. I don't know, man. Like I was walking back from something. Like I was there with Game Nerds. It was there when I was there for Sony stuff for DC Universe Online. I remember like walking back to the hotel or whatever, and there were like these kind of like goth industrial chicks with like kind of long weave dreadlocks or whatever, all done up to go to the industrial club. I worked at a club in DC when I was in the army in DC. I worked at a club in DC for a while. And they, on Saturday nights, had an industrial night. It was like a rave club on Fridays. Industrial on Saturdays after the bands played. And then it'd be like hardcore matinees or reggae or some shit on Sunday afternoon. To be honest, Leipzig doesn't look so industrial at all. At least the city. Berlin, contrast is horrible. Berlin is horrible. Sorry if you live there. Maybe I was just like my little blur. Like I said, I was there for 2 days. To be honest, I was shit-faced most of the time when I wasn't doing the Leipzig presentations. So maybe I just imagined it being kind of a little more tough or something. Need to get back out there. Need to get to Leipzig. Not only the people of Berlin, but the city itself drains soul out of your body. I've been to Berlin since I've been back to Germany. I've been to Berlin like 3 or 4 times. I think maybe once, maybe twice to go to UFC fights there. Once to go up, there's like a giant indoor swimming water park thingy in an old Zeppelin hangar near there. I've never seen so many people talking to walls as in Berlin and Frankfurt. Have you been to Munich? Sarah had said, "Oh shit, I love DCR. I remember watching Jesse Cox YouTube videos about it while playing." Yeah, I was one of the first 5 people on the DC Universe team, and that wound up being a tough project. Easton said, lived in Duval for 7 years. Should write about that. Where's Duval? Easton, I missed that earlier. Munich is pretty, but it's, man, it's kind of, dude, around the Hauptbahnhof and stuff, it's pretty dirty. Pretty sad. Like, the rest of Munich was nice enough, but like, around the Hauptbahnhof, I thought it looked pretty poopy. I look forward to the day that maybe Germany's train stations look cool and you get off the train and there's like restaurants that you'd actually want to eat at, and it's not all just like vape shops and doner kebab and stuff like that, and they clean up and all that. That would be nice. That'd be nice for Germany. Get it together, guys. Yeah, Sandy Pask. But we won't get on that topic in here. We don't discuss reality. We don't discuss those aspects of reality on stream if we can avoid it. All right. So we got this updated. Did we actually update it? No. Not I started it. Don't apologize for anything, Sandy Pask. That's me. It's on me. I do that sometimes. I can't help myself. I'm the one that said it. You can always DM me your thoughts. I'm always curious. Let's see. Okay. Are trains as late in Germany as the TikTok meme state? Yes. Absolutely. Yes. But I'm not going to get back. That's it. That's all I'm going to say on the topic. Yes. And I joke with my wife about this all the time. The whole like Germans always being punctual and stuff like that. That's some marketing. That's not true. That's not. I've worked in Germany. It is true though. It's not true. You guys like to think it's true. It's not true. Germans like to think they're punctual. Listen, and my wife was like, "No, it is true." I'm like, "Babe, it can't be true." She was like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "Why?" Because she's a dental surgeon, and she comes home like every day and says, she's like, "Oh, this patient was late and that patient was late and we got behind." And I was like, "Okay, I have run a German team." What I'm surprised is how Germans nowadays doesn't use C at all. It's pretty impolite, but anyway, yeah, but it's also an interesting language that you've got a formal and an informal. Citrus Chrome says, "I'm sure you've answered a million times, so sorry to ask. Never apologize for that. Are you planning a Steam release down the road? it's definitely cut the amount of my friends I'll be able to get to try the game. Thanks. We're gonna try. So the short answer is no plans at this time. Like later on, if we've exhausted our core audience and things like that, and it seems to make sense for us, and we feel the game is ready, so it'd be like a 1.0 thing if we were to do it. Maybe, but we'll just get them. We'll show them how easy it is to just install and pay us and all that stuff. You know, using our launcher, our patcher, especially once we get it all fixed up. We don't need the visibility on Steam yet. We're not looking to get a whole bunch of people in that don't know what we are, and then they're not happy with the game because, you know, they don't like the first time user experience or the UX or having to retrieve their corpse when they die or any number of things. We'd rather like really start the game off with our focus, like our hardcore sort of focused community, and then move the game towards 1.0. We're not looking just to like get eyeballs. We've talked to a couple publishers and stuff in the past, and that was kind of one of the sticking points, is like the main thing they offer is exposure and marketing and all that. And we're like, listen, we're making our own patcher and launcher. We're handling our own payments. And we don't want a bunch of like premature marketing as we go into early access. So it's never really made sense. So house volume 482, I think is correct. 482 with house 152. Let's see. German trains are never late. They're really early. What, for the next day? Citrus said, for me, probably 2 other friends. It won't be at all, but 4 or 5 others. I could get to try the game without a Steam gift. What if we let you give them... What if we let you gift them to our launcher? We've talked about gift subscriptions. Would that help solve that problem for them? Rondo said, I learned the hard way not to use informal German to an Austrian. Gave a choose that was not well received. Really? What would they want instead? Like a Auf Wiedersehen? Mein lieber Herr, auf Wiedersehen. Ich wünsche Ihnen eine schöne Abend? Or like, how would I say that to be very formal? Grüß Gott? That would be, yeah, is that Austrian? Is that more Southern? I'd love a gift account so I can make one for my kids. Yeah, so we're looking at that type of thing. When does the EA sign up process begin? I think when we've like locked down EA. Basically when we go into EA. If we don't know that there's like any sort of a process ahead of basically us flipping the switch on the servers yet. Do you still think EO will probably drop in January? It will drop in Q1. I don't think it'll be January. We really want to focus on getting beta like up and running and sorted. And so that's our primary focus, is making sure beta is beta ready, and then doing beta, learning from beta, improving the game, and then we'll go into early access. Yeah, we gotta cook. Wipes aren't planned for post EA, right? No, it's there is, if I can't think of a situation in which we would wipe EA. No. What, you know, like an absolute worst case scenario would be something like we have to roll back because we found a major exploit that flooded the economy, and we would want to like catch that in hours. So yeah, no planned wipes. Kenji said, I think word of mouth will be the best way to promote the game. In this case, you find more people who are really into the style of game, my opinion. No, I agree with you 100%. And if anything, you'll see that we've actually we've had fewer people come in during the playtest and be like, oh, what is this shit? Oh my god. Just because more and more people, I think, are bringing their friends in, or they've heard the good and the bad about the game and they want to come in and try it out themselves. And so, you know, it's been a little bit more chill during the playtest. Personally, I don't participate in short playtests, just if they're at least 2 days long. Yeah. And I think there are a number of people that have, you know, like we were talking about concurrent user count, daily active users, monthly active users. I think we're probably going to see something similar to that with regards to our playtests. And so, like, we had 7,700 people play in the last 7-day playtest. And so, of those 7,700, a certain amount of them are new, and a certain amount of them will play in the 10-day playtest, and then a certain amount won't. And I think what we'll see is there are going to be people that have played, because we even know, like, some people, not to brag or anything, but Tangent's come in and played our game a couple times. Pretty cool guy. And, you know, he's like, I'm going to hold off until EA now. I'm definitely going to be there. And we're like, right on, buddy. We'll be here for you. You know? Puff out the chest a little bit. Nah, he's such a rad guy. So we've had people that, I just use him as an example. One, because he's cool to, like, name drop, because he does do some really great streams and stuff. Plus, he, like, I remember, I think maybe even before we started the project, I think I was watching him get, like, one of his twinks, like a Fiery Avenger. Am I saying it wrong? Just because I worked on EverQuest, I can't remember shit anymore. Fiery Defender, Fiery Avenger. Why am I fucking messing that up? Let me look that up. Anyways, they were killing Lucan, and I watched that stream and thought it was fantastic. The Fiery Avenger. Okay, cool. There we go. Thank you. I was just like, drawing blank. And, anyways, I think he's a good example because we've talked about it and he's like, yep, I'll be back later. And that's it for playtests. I'm like, cool. I think we'll see a number of those. And I think that's rad. Big time streamers are an outlier, however. How often do you think people come in and playtest and say, oh, can't wait for launch, versus come playtest and say, oh, wait, this is not for me? I think we've probably had a solid, if I had to guess, we've probably had about 30% of the people that have tried the game say, I don't think this is for me. If I had to guess. And so, and that makes sense. You know, that's kind of what our data has looked like so far, metrics wise, each playtest. Yeah, it's fantastic conversion rate if it holds up. But again, we're not wide appeal. Conversion rate goes down when you got more eyeballs and stuff like that, right? Like if you're on Steam, it would be a much lower conversion rate. But I think, you know, being kind of a core niche game, we mostly get people in that kind of know what they're in for. And so anyway, now the number of people that have, like, just said on Discord or whatever, hey, like, I'm just waiting until the game goes live. I wouldn't be shocked if there's 15-20% of the players fall into that category. The old EQ lore is very D&D like. Yeah, it's just very tropey and very built on that, like, I mean, it's built on a, was it Turtle Mud kind of foundation. It's very D&D. It's very classic tropey fantasy. And that's just a great way to do it. I like games that tap into the, you know, not trying to be like everything's, that was kind of one of the things that threw me with, you know, some of the other games that were still good games, but like Asheron's Call didn't feel as D&D like to me, you know, that kind of thing. Will you have epic weapon quest lines eventually? Just curious. Splash Bomb, yeah, for sure. Once the world's bigger and we can send you around the world and stuff, then we'll do it. Epic weapons or epic armor or just epic. Just epic. Just epic quests. And that's the kind of thing where like having more epic quests rather than fewer when the world's bigger makes sense, right? Because then it's not all just like that's a great thing to add over time. You don't necessarily always need to add like new continents and land masses and shit. Add in more cool epicness. Will mages still need to sell a kidney and wait 4 years to get theirs? Probably. I think that's just a mage thing. I mean, did you ever hear of the anime Record of Lodos War? I know the name. I couldn't place it. Was that like a space one? Or no? Am I just... Six-part high fantasy. Oh, okay, cool. Then maybe I don't... Well, I know the name. Oh, wait. 1986, Super Nintendo. There's a D&D replay. Setting other systems, Total Trolls, Room Quest. Let me leave that open. I wanna look into that more. I wonder if I knew it back in the day or if I knew it from... I've got this crazy RPG book that I've showed you guys like maybe years ago or last year or something. I've got this really awesome book on CRPGs. It wasn't very expensive, super high quality, super cool, and I think it's mentioned in there, even though it's Japanese. Have you guys seen the book? I can grab it for you. It's just right over there, but I'd have to get up and grab it. It's a cool looking book. Freak said 80% of my gaming group are in the waiting to try it numbers. I personally test every game as soon as possible, as often as possible. Well, we appreciate that. Hopefully they get in, they like it. Dankin said maybe for new players it'd be nice if there's an option to pick I'm new to this type of game. It will give you a separate chat window that's called player chat, so at least they'll be able to see other people talking to them. We need to continue to work on a default setup and see if we can just make that kind of be a natural part of things. But we're not opposed to the idea of like asking people questions on the way in and optimizing the experience for them. That might be something we do over time. Any plans for minor zone specific events, kind of like how Fippy Dark Par would spawn? Russia Gates. Yeah. Little things like that for sure. I don't know. We might have like turned some of them off, but there's like random shit that just happens in the zone. I put it in as kind of a test at one point, and I think it might have murked too many people. There's like a random enraged were-rat that like spawns in the city and then starts marching around the city killing everybody. There's like a Lovecraftian horror type scenario at one point. Yeah, just little things that pop up in the city. But more of that stuff over time for sure. We kind of designed our systems around making it easier. You saw the enraged were-rat recently, actually? Oh, cool. He's still around. I haven't checked on him in forever. I might need to tune him and change his path. So much has changed since he went in. I've got like an encounter table of like midnight encounters that just randomly will pick one somewhere in the city. Want to do more bar fights and random people like drunk and walking around, or hoodlums popping up in different areas. It's just got to get the meat and potatoes in and to keep putting that stuff in. There better be a Cthulhu type god we can worship later on. Maybe something like that. Bunch of that stuff in the lore, maybe a bunch of it. Beef Nips 99, thank you for the follow. Drunken Master quest for monks, please. Go fight these masters in taverns. Oh, that's a great idea. Don't let us forget. Gotta get your alcohol tolerance up. Cave Wugzug said, hopefully, boy, they're going to fiend. Sean, do you personally feel responsible for future divorces this game will cause when a large amount of spouses realize they'd rather play the game sometime? No, because this is now a time for you to bring your significant other into the game with you. Oh, it sounds like Jasmine's back. Dude, we're an hour and 25 minutes in. I'm almost done with the simplest house ever. Those of you that are new to the stream, this is just kind of what I do after work. This is in no way indicative of my actual throughput on the game. Plus the team is close to 40 people. It's not just me. As much as I like to, I do like to claim credit for everything. I do all the art, all the music, all the coding. One-man team. As much as I might say that for, every once in a while, it's not true. So, what's the most interesting house we've done so far? Do you plan to go crazier? I don't make the houses. I just like implement the housing. The artists make the houses. There are some badass houses over here. I just put the doors in, Jasmine said, yeah. Is this the house? This is the house that I got complaints about because it's got, I think 3 different people can rent it. Is this the house? No, that can't be right. Okay, no, all right. I was like, for some reason I thought that door is highlighted. I mean, we've got some crazy houses in here. And some have courtyards, and some have balconies, and I am the door contractor. This one comes with its own stall, right? So like, is this it? No, which one is it? This one's got its own stall that's part of the house, right? And this is probably going to be a cool shop. You could do a shop here. In Shallow Shoals, there's a tower. That's the one that I want. This place is pretty snazzy. It's got these nice windows for you to like do some merchanting. So this is like a cool ass merchant guild hall right here. Then you got these guys right here. Yeah, it's going to be 1 house per server per account. Now, that doesn't prevent people from like doing mule accounts or whatever and stuff. We'll keep an eye on some of this. But you got to understand, you guys have been talking about, oh, the city's so big and blah, blah, blah. There's going to be a lot of houses for rent. And, in like all sorts of zones and stuff. So we'll see. Bring your significant other, bring your side person, just don't group them both at the same time. Have you been grouping with other people? Did you fix the back alley door? Probably not. I don't know that I was aware. Can we buy property and rent them out ourselves? We don't support that at this time. Any of the buildings in the castle courtyard going to be houses? We're doing some, like, we're doing a fair amount of like redesign work and stuff up here, so we'll see. But like up here in the higher class area, There'll be some houses. Here in Sage Side, there'll be some houses. Need some manhole covers for sale for the greenologically challenged. Yeah, it's true. But there'll be housing for the greens as well. Any possibilities for a home gate? Maybe. You never know where we'll end up on that type of thing. Sewer houses. It is definitely a possibility. It has been discussed. A lot of the Pop Adventure says, dang, 1.5 hours streaming without me. I need to turn on those notifications. Well, I'm glad you didn't have them on today because the notification was a lie. My notification was still from the stress test, and it was like, stress test. The sewer homes and a turtle race. I see where you're heading with that. Yeah, if you're in Discord and you've got the notification set up, then you can see there. Okay, so again, what was I'm trying to just do one house today. I'm so frazzled. 42. Let's update this to say 42. House 152. I think we're good. We're good here. What are we doing now? Oh, that is not the house volume. It is the house volume. House door 58. Cool. I should have just played tonight. I shouldn't have tried to work. My brain is done. I got 5.5 hours sleep last night and then thought I was going to take a nap today, and I wound up just like a 30-minute power nap, and it is over. It's over, Johnny. It's never over. Never over. I think I'm good, actually. I think this house is set up. He's dead, Jim. I don't know the response to that one. I just know the first blood one. It's never over. What is this? This is a closet. It's got a walk-in closet. I was like, maybe we'll do no door down here, and then you come up and you've got your house numbers, but we'll do a door down there because basically you've got a walk-in mud closet here, and then over here is your house. All right, so we'll absolutely put a door down at the bottom. And what's this guy like? Yeah, little basement studio apartment. Need a hole in the floor with running water at the bottom. We need a secret, like you rent this house and then it's got a hatch down here and you go down there and it's like boom, takes you into the sewers. All right. Rogue seller. Yeah. Door contractor, that's my job. Orc salesman by day, door contractor by night. I'm just trying to get the bills paid, guys. Ratskeller. Correct. Ich glaube, da gibt eine, wie heißt es, eine Ratskeller Bier. Oder? We had a basement bar in the German themed village called Ratskeller, and it was in the basement. Makes sense. What does that translate out to, actually? speaking of streams and stuff, don't forget we've got a bunch of the other guys are streaming these days. Definitely sign up in our Discord and turn on. That's not our music. Is it? No. It is our music. That's Ancient Crypt. That's right. That's newer. I panicked for a second. I forgot the intro. Is it? So I've. Thank you for the follow. Is it Goiner or I forgot to. I don't think I've asked. Is it Goiner or Goner? That's wonderful. Yeah, Jasmine did her first shooting competition. Goiner. Okay. Gooner? Are you don't you're not a gooner. Moon's goons out, right? No. Is there a shooting gun scene in Germany? There is. I mean, it's not big, it's not massive, but there is one, and it's not like an impossible thing to get into. I've been to the range here a couple times. But no, my wife does IPSC and goes to the range very regular. She had her first competition last week. Very, there wasn't a lot of competition in the female bracket, so she did really well. Lollipop says, we just did Tennessee State Championship skeet shoot. Oh, fun. Hopefully that was good. Yes, please. It's just paperwork and stuff. It's not too big a deal. Join a cult. Tennessee's a pretty place. We've looked at some houses and stuff. Tennessee, West Virginia, Kentucky. I lived in Fort Campbell, Kentucky as a kid. So we've been looking at Tennessee, Kentucky, West Virginia, Wyoming, Montana, and Idaho. Those have been the spots so far. We live in Germany. We live in Bremen, Germany. Gatlinburg. Gatlinburg's kind of cool. What's the crime like in Gatlinburg? Watch his wife be former German Special Forces. Jasmine KSK. No crime, really? Well, that's good. Born in Frankfurt, right on. That would be the KSK, Dark Inside. Rammstein, your dad was stationed in Rammstein. Yeah, a lot of Americans have been through here over the years. American folks tend to speak fondly of Germany. I tell Germans all the time. I was like, Jasmine got some first-hand experience when we went and visited my dad one year, and he was around a bunch of old GIs. They were all like, I remember being in Germany. I remember beautiful Fräuleins and the beers and the schnitzels. Had some schnitzels. I like your active duty almost got orders to Ramstein. Ruckus said, oh, right on. It's worthwhile. Tim Ashton, I'm not gonna get super deep into the real world topics. I will say that's a very 80s perspective of the country. Let's just say countries age, things move on. So we're looking forward to getting to the US. Hey, thank you, Bama fan. It's a beautiful country. I love it. People are great. Love the history. But I think it's getting about time to get back home for a bit. Yeah. No, it's a, you know, it's still a fun place to live mostly. And don't worry, I didn't take it that way. I've got a buddy who lives in Nashville, but I have no aspirations to live in any very populated area. Is it true that you lose your spell book on death? Only if you forget where your corpse is. And even then, we'll provide you with a way to ultimately recover your corpse. If you lose it. It's not gone forever. Don't you worry. Biofusion, thank you for the follow. It stays on the corpse. That is correct. Where are we looking to get back to? I was just mentioning probably Wyoming, Idaho, Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia, or Montana. West Virginia is definitely, it looks very beautiful. Idaho is very pretty. You live about 45 minutes from Nashville, can't see a neighbor, so it's possible to live close to a big city without being a big city. Yeah, we're kind of looking at that. I mean, realistically. I like Keikyo said if you have any questions on Idaho in the future, hit me up. Here's the thing. I would love to. I'll probably forget. You can, if you want, you can shoot me a DM in Discord and then I won't forget. And I appreciate the offer. That's very kind of you. Woodsy Mountains is what I'm looking for. What we're looking for. We're both into it. Yeah, you won't lose your corpse forever in this game. But you will have to get back to it. Appalachians? Yeah, Appalachia is pretty. A really big fan of Appalachia. Big fan of like the mountainy areas of, I think, Wyoming, Montana, Idaho. We're simple people. We just like to go hiking. We like to walk in nature. We want to have some land. We want to try our hand at like growing a few animals. Hide corpse not only helps you find your corpse if you use the right options, it also dog's chewing his squeak ball, he loves it. It also improves your client performance. Oh, there's 140 acres for sale in Hickman County, Tennessee. Fairly cheap right now. Does it got water? And does it have hills nearby? Kentucky Appalachians are pretty as well. Yeah, Javasine, we've been looking Idaho, Kentucky, Tennessee, West Virginia. We have pretty specific criteria that leads us to those states, though, in terms of like we're very much just want to be left alone. Just want to be left alone. We want as few. I'm very anti-authoritarian. I don't know if you realize that about me. I'm fairly anti-authoritarian. I just want to be left alone. We want to have our land. We want to be able to go into town. We don't need fancy shopping. We just need basic shopping. Maybe some, nice people that we can meet every once in a while, like, go to church or something, meet some people, and then go back to our land. Have some people that maybe understand how to raise animals or whatever can kind of come up and teach us some stuff. Maybe watch the animals if we're traveling. So somehow I imagine Sean saying that point, right? I'm probably more country than you realize. Robot, I posted on the last New World update that I refuse to play the game unless they make the first expansion with the horse feature free, as it's a pay-to-win feature for large open battles and sieges. And I also said even scam MMORPGs had a horse feature that every player has without paying extra, and not even a month later they announced the first expansion is going to be free. Look at you, you're a change maker. Abington, Virginia. Virginia is very beautiful. Not as into the government there. I think it's. I've worked in D.C. And lived in the Virginia, Maryland area. I would just say again, want to be left alone. Is the main thing. 154. Again, not to veer off into any real world topics. Don't want everybody getting frisky. You don't want to hear my opinions. I probably don't want to hear yours when it comes to the real world. Monsters and memories, not the real world. So we can talk about it. It's an escape. It's an escapism. It's an escapisms category if you saw the Redbeard Flynn poll. Is pudding a real world topic? Pudding is okay to discuss. The only politics that matter is the fact that the poor Sheer are being labeled the enemy when they are clearly the bestest of boys and girls, right? Poor guys. Hey, like 3 weeks ago, you mentioned you're going to change the chat instead of being a scroll so your VODs look better. Any background work on that? I honestly, I said it and then promptly forgot it and didn't do any. It's not like a hard thing. I could do it right now. Maybe I'll run a poll. Would you like it better? The only reason why I do it the way I do it now is so that the screen is not as obstructed. Here, I'm trying to like find where I can even find my Streamlabs. My Streamlabs is like minimized and buried. Yeah, I mean, we got a lot of space over here. In theory, we could have the chat over there instead, if that's preferable. Any plans on slightly streamlining the MUD feature? Current system of picking something, targeting, and typing can be awkward. Specifically, written text means we just stood in front of something and guessed until it happened because we weren't quite using the right text. I think I think the arbitrary part is the same challenge we're going to have with like quests. It's hopefully the wording makes it a bit more obvious for you. The holding different objects and stuff like that, we'll play with that over time. Right, I think we'll always improve on it from this point, both in terms of the base UX, but also in terms of how we word them and make it so that it's easier to kind of figure out. I can do a poll. Do you want to do a poll? I mean, if it matters to you, I could do a poll real quick and see. Twitch poll overlay. We'll get it set up. Tim, I think some of it may also just be in like providing a little more direct kind of explanation in the text. Like when you get here, throw this at that in a, you know what I mean? Like, can you show us the two options to make a poll? All right, let me show you the other option. Let me get it set up. Yeah, some of it's going to just be a wording thing. I mean, you got to realize some of this stuff that we put in, it's not an excuse, but it always happens. You want people to start playing the game, so you put in like your starter quests and stuff pretty early. And then people start playing the game, and then like 2 years later or 3 years later, you're getting ready to go live. And a lot of that content's like 3 years old. And some of it's just like, it's not as good or intuitive. It doesn't have all of the experience that you now have 3 years later, right? So you wind up redoing some of that stuff before you go live. So yeah, some people are not going to be into questing because of the way that quests work. Some people will, I mean, maybe not be as excited about that, you know, mud actions and questing and stuff. But, you know, they can still get it done. You just get on a wiki. Is that the best way to do it? I mean, not if you ask any game designer that's written a book or given a GDC talk, but a lot of those people work at startups that then don't ship games, and then they work at a new startup that doesn't ship a game, and then they write another book about making games. And so, I don't know. Sometimes it is the best design, but it's not necessarily the way shit gets done. And still kind of works. Still kind of works. I'm a firm believer in sometimes, you know, you can ship imperfect and still it's good enough, and then you go forward and maybe update it or whatever as you go. But where is this freaking chat box? That's horizontal chat. Oh, this kombucha just gave me the worst heartburn. Did I delete the other chat box? I might have lied to you. No, there's chat box. Okay, it's just really minimized. Ow. Heartburn. I am trying to get this chat box set up for you guys to see whether or not you like this better. Background, color. Well, that's not showing the background color, so that's a lie. Notice the hide backpack and helm options seem buggy. It would reset on zoning, never seem to work for other players. It is there. I've noticed some bugs as well. Any changes to racial starting stats or racial abilities coming soon? They're being discussed. I don't know how soon that they're actually going to pop in, but it is on our list for beta. All right, so I've got a chat box. For whatever reason, the background is not. It's not. So I'll use this kind of janky. Then we'll move that below the chat box. All right, so this is with the side chat box enabled. And then the side panel. I wish I could see it better. It's so tiny. My little Streamlabs computer is so tiny. Can you read that at all? Are you guys able to read that? Hello, VoD watchers. All right, we'll leave it up for the VoD. And do you mind that it takes up all that space over there? Is that okay? That is actually good for me because it can hide some secrets that you may not want. We may not want you to see. Do you like that better than the scrolling bottom one? Here, I'll do a poll here, and then I will also. The VOD doesn't have chat. Yeah, it's all on YouTube. The party zone? Yeah. What do you know about the party zone? All right, so hold on. Next step. I am so discombobulated today. Where did I put the poll? The poll window. So I'll leave that up. You guys that are watching the VOD or listening or whatever, please let me know what you think in the comments below. Just in case you didn't know where the comments are located on YouTube, I've got to say the comments below. Which chat box is preferred. I mean, you guys are watching this on Twitch, so you're just looking at chat, right? So it doesn't matter. So why am I asking you guys? I don't know that I need to poll you guys. You guys have chat comments. This is a poll for the YouTube people. So horizontal chat, vertical chat. I haven't used this poll setup in forever. Sorry, I'm being quiet. Like, I honestly I can't do it. This poll is nonsense. There we go. All right, can you see the poll? Dude, I feel like my parents trying to work a television remote control half the time these days. I'm like fumbling through crap. While you guys do that, I'm gonna do some other stuff. Yeah, that's why I try to read out the like question or the full statement. I just read it all out instead of just responding. $20 votes so far. I think this is going to be a blowout. I think this is just going to be... I think the days are numbered for the fancy bottom scroll horizontal scroller. So... Oh my god, this kombucha is giving me such heartburn. Oh. Corinthians said you could also do multiple lines on a horizontal one rather than just one. Yeah. At that point, I think we might just do the vertical then. Diagonal? Scarlett said, all right, I'm glad vertical wins for the VoD people. I'm out. Have a great rest of the stream. Hey, have a great weekend. You did your duty. You came in here and represented the VoD people's desires. Nothing really gives me heartburn, and this has done it. But I'm glad that you're making fun of my age, Finzig. Things only an old man says for 500. Please, Alex. And I didn't bring up spell books. Thank you for that, Scala. If I correct my posture, I'm so hunched over all the time. If I correct my posture, it makes the heartburn go away. So you're going to have to look at me with correct posture for a little bit. I lean because I'm trying to get close to the mic. Can you still hear me? Am I still on? Is this thing still on? Dude, I have this desire. Are you sure it's heartburn? Worried for you. It's heartburn. It is heartburn. Why would you be worried? What do you think it is? What else would it be? I drank a bubbly vinegar drink. It smelled like heartburn going down. You're currently sitting like a shrimp. It's relatable. Chest burster. Oh geez. Old man syndrome. Oh, I'm glad I'm here for you, Thadvik. I'm glad I'm here for you to talk your smack. It did smell like heartburn go down. I had an uncle, thought it was a heartburn, or it was a heart attack or something, died before I got to the ER. Well, my wife is about 12 feet away. She is a medical professional. It's not funny anymore? You woke up old the other day? Back still hurts? I really don't get heartburn very often, if at all. I'm fairly healthy. I'm a fairly healthy person. I try to take care of myself. Got work to do. Bought a new chair with really good lumbar support, no more back pain while sitting in your desk. That's nice to hear. The main thing I have found, if my back ever starts to hurt, it means I have not worked out in a while. My routine has been broken. That may sound simplistic or whatever, but I had really bad sciatic. I had a really bad sciatic episode when I was like 32. And I went to the doctor and guess what he told me? No, really, guess what he told me? He said, son, you better work out or we can start you on pain management. And I was like, what's pain management? He said, pills. And I said, I'll start working out. And that's when I discovered my love for... I wanted to try boxing. Went to a boxing gym, but instead of meeting the boxing coach, I met the Muay Thai coach. And so I started Muay Thai that next Monday. I went from Muay Thai to also enjoying Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. And that was 18 years ago. And while I have been slack on the fight sports over the years, since I've been in Germany and Sweden, in Germany, been pretty slack. I do work out. You can actually get the robot workout plan. I use an app, believe it or not. Okay, so look, I'm gonna stop the poll. There's 35 of you with a 91.4% vertical chat response rate. Vertical chat it is. We'll start that right now. Those of you in watching the VoD, I think you'll probably like this better. If not, let me know. Let's go ahead. We're gonna nuke horizontal chat. to free up some space. Let's kill the pole. So, where was the pole? It was in some window. Right? Finish pole. Thank you. Done. Let's hide the pole. Pause. Let's remove. Let's turn it off. John said, I can see Reddit now is interested in Eminem, but the vertical chat on Twitch is a bad mechanic. Unfollowed the game. Plus also, they can only implement one house per 3 hours. The game is never going to be finished. Stretch goal. 3 houses. 3 houses. Oh my god. I need to be like an uncle. Vertical chat looks good though. Listen, Goblin, if you like vertical chat, I'm double sold. You're my go-to. If I want to know if this is what the new hotness is, I'm asking Goblin, and this is the new hotness. What's up, Goblin? Perfect. You know, I was just trying something different. Like, we all start with vertical chats. I was just trying something different. It was good for a couple years, I guess. Anyways, you asked about the workout thing, right? What was the last topic? I've been very happy with this app. I am not sponsored by them. We pay them money. It is called RP Hypertrophy. These guys look... This guy, Dr. Mike, talks a lot of shit, so he's kind of overdoing it a bit here. But it looks like this. I look just like that guy, don't I? Except that guy is about... He comes up to about here on me. Dr. Mike's probably nipple high to me. Little guys always look pretty yoked. I am 6'2". He's like 4 foot. That's true. By the way, shout out to a group of goblins who bowed to me in game last night. I was showing my mom the game and she thought it was so hilarious. Dude, goblins in game are... Moms love them. But yeah, so this is it's a really, once you get going, like it plans all the progression and stuff for you. It's really good. I love it. Made it very easy to be consistent. So, Dr. Mike is no, Acadians were not pivoting to fitness apps, but people ask, so I provided. Volume. Acadius, how you been? Go learn some Krav Maga. I actually took a Krav Maga class a long time before I ever did like Muay Thai or Jiu-Jitsu. I took it when I was working on EverQuest, actually. Those guys are really excited. They're really excited. Krav Maga guys. What was the site again? It was why did I'm just brain dead. Something hypertrophy. RP strength and it is RP strength. It's the hypertrophy app. But I really do like it. Like I like this. This app is. I feel this app's fantastic. I've had personal trainers and stuff. Had a great personal trainer in Sweden. He was a former Bellator fighter. Great guy, and we trained together for years there. And he also trained Jasmine when she moved out. And I will say that this app is a lot cheaper, and I think it's is good or better. It just doesn't. You don't have the guy there like correcting you or blah blah blah. So it's not as easy to learn technique or whatever. And you don't have a spotter. I don't have a spotter at least. So. Amnesiac asked, I know this has been asked tons of times too. How does this give your character any sorts of benefits or mainly vanity? There'll be benefits there, but what we're going to do is we're going to look at look at providing other ways for players who don't have housing to get similar benefits. But there'll be a convenience to your access to those benefits that will make it worthwhile, and vanity. And it's just kind of cool. All right. So, volume 42. Got it. Volume 43. Or sorry, 483, 483. House 153. Cool. Next one. Volume 484. And that's still 153. You should have resting bonus buff based on the furnishings and grade of mats used. Stuff like that's interesting. You know, again, it's the goal for early access, and especially for beta before early access, is just to get the core of the system in so that over time we can, you know, play with different ideas and stuff. I kind of really just, this is crazy because it's 10:20 now, but like I really want to watch TV before bed. This week has just been like a lot of nights at the desk, even at night. And I just kind of want to watch TV before bed. What are we watching? Probably last episode of Squid Games. Season 3. I enjoyed this season. The 2-3 combo season. It was worthwhile. World Series in Canada. Oh, but it's like not just Canadian teams? Okay, that's pretty cool. Is that the only thing you're watching right now? Yeah, I think that's the only thing we're watching. We don't get a lot of TV time. We listen to a lot of podcasts and audiobooks. My wife and I listen to like audiobooks together. Like I said, I don't know. Did we have a single night together this evening? This week? Dude, my brain's fried. I'm like fried. Monday, no. Tuesday, no. Wednesday, no. But I also didn't stream. That was other discussions and stuff. Yesterday was Thursday. No. All right. So yeah. So yeah, I think downtime will be tomorrow for sure, tomorrow evening. But like I said, I'm like, I just kind of, I'm tired. I want to go to bed, but I also just want to watch TV for an hour. During dinner, we'll listen to like a podcast or something. We listen to a lot of so like Dungeon Crawler Carl is good. That's fun. But we haven't been on Dungeon Crawler. I can't hear you. I have a earbud in, babe. What? Yeah, I can't talk. DCC has not been lately. We listened to like a 15-hour podcast, history podcast series, and just wrapped that up and just started a new one. But there aren't a lot of episodes for the new one yet. So, is the RP Diet Coach and Planner? There is a like a partner app that does that. I don't use that. My main thing with diet is I don't eat enough, and so I just, you know, try to consume more food and protein and back off of all the sweet snacks. I like sweets, but I've always had trouble like putting on weight because I'm 6'2". I competed in grappling and stuff when I was in Texas at like a extremely skinny. I'd grapple at 155, but I was pretty skinny at 6'2", 155. But it was a nice advantage. And now I'm staying. I've been about 190 to 200 lately. And I really want to like start stuffing in more calories because I would love to try to. I mean, I'm 50. I'm about to be 51 in a few months. But I'd like to, because after I had surgery last year, or whenever it was, I was just like focused on trying to recover shoulder surgery and hand surgery, and so I was like just trying to put on a little bit more, like just not hurt myself while getting physical again. That's why I just haven't been back to jujitsu and stuff since then. And so my focus right now is like I'd like to get up to like 210. I think that'd be really fun. Them runny eggs. Thank you for the follow. So yeah. I mean, I'd like to get up to like 230 to be honest, but I just don't see that happening. I'm trying to stay pretty consistent right now with lifting 5 days a week. But I don't consume enough. To be able to like just bulk up. It's kind of slowly been coming though, because for the longest time I was like 170, and so the fact that I'm like close to 200 regularly now is nice, like 175. So. Have I ever tried judo? Not formally. Our jiu-jitsu school had judo players that would train with us as well, and our coach and those guys would every once in a while. They would throw us around. A huge amount of respect for judo. Judo is amazing. I would love to try judo, and maybe that'll be a thing that I try instead of going back to jiu-jitsu. There's like decent judo in Germany. Judo is super cool. Just throwing people around. That's funny, Acadius. I'm always gonna be scrawny. I think it's like body dysmorphia or whatever. Hey IGT, you know what? Every time I see you in Discord, I can only picture you as your Discord avatar. To me, you're always going to be that wacky looking little cartoon character. I was thinking that earlier and I didn't say it. I meant to tell you that when I saw you earlier. I was like, definitely recommend it. It goes in tandem with jujitsu. Yeah, like judo's super cool. Just wrestling. Just wrestling's good. I wish I had trained with some of the other wrestling coaches in Stockholm. The gym that I went to was All Stars, where Hamzat and Gustafson and Ilir Latifi or whatever his name is, and Mad Dog Reza and all those guys trained there, and I only trained like a few times and then just went and worked out for the most part. I wish I'd wrestled with those guys more because there's a lot of those guys from like the various eastern countries and they wrestle their ass off. Sorry to people that come to the stream just to like talk about Eminem or whatever. If you're new here, I just will talk about a lot of random shit half the time, so apologies for that. If you're new and don't realize that already. If you got a lot of questions about like class design and where the classes are going and abilities and stuff like that, definitely check out Nick's streams. He's been streaming a lot more. And there are fantastic places for you to get that info. What classes do you enjoy playing? I've got a super cute little gnomish necromancer girl that I'm playing. She's cool. So I've been playing that because I can just log in and solo a bit. Nick said he'll probably be streaming when he gets home later today. So you definitely check that out. I'm going to post the links again if you haven't seen them, but you really should get into Discord and just set up the go to the stream notifications there. Toe Jam said, damn, 170's harsh. It's dope you got to where you are. Dude, like I said, I competed in grappling at like 155. Skinny. Jump said 5'8", 150. Lean but solid. Build car parts in a factory and done foundry work. Work on side fabrication. Yeah, so that's like just legit. You probably feel like you're made of iron. That's like legit muscle. Wingburn said, I wish I was 230. I'm stuck at 300, 6'4". It's too much. What's your activity level? Like, why do you feel like you're stuck? Runny Eggs said, hey, hi guy. Hi guy. Gotta admit, I wasn't a fan of the art style, but hey, what? How dare you? But after spending the last weekend playing, I 100% fell in love with your game because the art style, you gotta get in. When you're in, then it makes sense. Screenshots, that's not where it's at. Keep up the great work. Looking forward to 10-day playtest. We're looking forward to having you in for 10 days. IGT said, I'm 5'6", 375. That's bullshit because you're a cartoon character. I don't even know that you have weight. You are a literal cartoon character. You weigh picograms, probably. Jump said I walk an average of 12 kilometers a day on foot. So are you just big bone? What are you thinking here? I mean, some people are, you know, maybe you're just built to be a solid 300, dude. if I was 6'4", 300 pounds, I would just be lifting all the time. So I would be the Incredible Hulk. I would just. You're double streaming. That's the way to do it. Menage I Eminem. Gnome Crusher X. What's going on? I don't. That name is unacceptable. Moderators. Where are the mods? Gnome Crusher. Where are the mods? Unacceptable. Yeah, John's all over it. He's like, "What? That's the best name I've ever heard. Gnome Crusher." Because John has a crush on gnomes. If you saw my cute little necromancer gnome, you would change your opinion about gnomes, John. She's the cutest. $484. Check. $485. Check. 486. Hey, don't forget, I actually fixed a bug this stream as well. Dog Ronnie says mostly been doing body weight kettlebell stuff lately. Lots of walking, so I feel much better doing it consistently. Really, honestly, it's like it's just the consistency that's the thing. Humdrum said my ex-father-in-law was 6'8". At his heaviest, he was 440. That guy said on a Harley motorbike it would bottom out. Had to weld a plate on the frame. Damn. Yeah, that's solid. My dad, I think my dad was at one point. He had the worst back surgery, and he was always a big guy. Like when he was in the army, he kind of, if he was lean, he was like 230. I think he was like 6'5", 6'4", 6'5". When he was lean, he was 230. When he was like just bulking, schnitzel and beer, be about 260. But after his back surgery, oh man, never the same athletically. But he wound up being like, I think close to 400 at one point. And he's just like, he loved his Harley, so he wound up trying trikes and stuff, and it just didn't feel the same. Before he died, he had lost weight. He was getting healthier and stuff. So who knows? But his back surgery, that was never gonna be fixed. It was the worst thing I've ever seen. He showed X-rays, and it was just like, dude, it just looked like somebody took. It just looked like deck screws or something, just a plate all the way down his back. I'm 6'4", 215, and I'd love to get to 225, but it's never going to happen without assistance. Dude, assistance is, it's a thing. Yeah, I mean, in the US, you've got things that are like, maybe not too crazy, you know, TRT and stuff like that, but just without any of that stuff. Consistency, calories. Poor dude being 3 depth sounds like an awesome tough dude. Yeah, I mean, he really impressed me. You know, before he died, like they had, because of the back surgery, they had him on opioids. He was on morphine, oxy, and gabapentin for like 10 years. And at some point, I just had a talk with him. I think it might have been during one of our visits a few years ago, or might have been on a phone call. But I just told him, I was like, hey man, like at some point you got to get off the pain meds, because I'm pretty certain it's just gonna kill you, right? Like it's not. You can't keep going with it. And it was kind of a tough talk, but I was like, listen, I think you gotta stop that at some point. And dude, he went out and got a medical marijuana card because he said he had like tried some marijuana. My dad was a pretty come from a biker family and hardcore partier, and he was a undercover drug cop in the army in the 80s and stuff. Like lots of fun stories. So anyways, it wasn't like he was unfamiliar with it, but he got a medical marijuana card, and then wound up like weaning himself without even getting assistance, got off of like all of the other stuff, all the pain meds. And then he was like, I'm not really into the weed either, like the medical marijuana, stopped that as well, and was just like basically clean. So before he died, he'd like gotten that together, was getting his like teeth fixed and all sorts of stuff. So I was like, all right, man. Definitely proud of the attempt there at the end. So, and to me it was kind of inspiring, because I was like, if he can do that shit, like, because I know it was tough for him, and so for him to like be able to just do that out of like, I think just sheer willpower and out of respect for the fact that I was like, hey man, I love you, I don't want to see you like fall apart, you know what I mean? I don't know, to me it was naturally, whenever your father or parent dies, it's a tough deal. But honestly, I think just the fact that there was all that effort and stuff made towards the end, it made all of that a lot easier for me. Anyways, you guys are here to talk about elves and scrolls and shit, not this stuff. Cherub down. Hey, I love you too. Barely know you, but I love you too. I appreciate it. Also, game is amazing. Well, for that one, you get to love the whole team. I appreciate it, guys. Thank you, Swingburn. Quatos! How are you? I was thinking of you earlier. Because somebody was asking about whether or not you can find like secret stuff in the game. Oh, don't feel sorry, Bill. Don't feel sorry. I actually I mean what I say. Like I cannot think of a better way for all of that to sort of work out at the end. Hey, Arthex. Yeah, I forget, somebody in here. They may still be in here. But they're saying like, oh, like, can you find secret stuff or whatever? And I didn't want to spoil it for them by saying, go check out Quatos' video. Because, like, don't do it if you don't want to see the secret. But it is one of the coolest, like, secret moments. Unless they just want to see you find a spider. That was also good. Humjum said, hey man, heartfelt moments are great too. You have an entire online family here anytime. Hey, I know, I appreciate it. Who wins in a fight, an elf or an elf-side squirrel? Elf-side squirrel. Squirrels are vicious, man. I almost got my fingertip bit off by one. I thought I was rescuing him. He thought I was trying to kill him. I'm so glad I had leather gloves on when he bit me. PoE season coincides with the 10-day playtest. Super hard decision. Oh, it's a no-brainer. Just come play. PoE will be there. That's funny, Doggeroni. Pause. I love this part of this song that's playing in the background right now. It's kind of got that ninth gate sort of like mystery thing. Dun, 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 dun. Ninth gate, the ninth gate score is so good. Yes. Love how cool this community is. Seriously, I found so few negative interactions. I believe that to be the case. I honestly do. Our community has been surprisingly chill. It's been really enjoyable. That's, you know, and sometimes people are like they feel like the community's being mean if people disagree with them and stuff, and I'm like, guys, it's not. That's, people are going to disagree with you. Sometimes it gets heated. Sometimes we got to tell people to be a little less salty or whatever, you know, but like, and sometimes, yeah, we got to like maybe time somebody out and just be like, hey, that's a little too far. But for the most part, our community's just been great. I'm so proud of this community. See you, XV. Take care. Oh man, it's almost 11 o'clock. Think communication openness makes a difference? It does, Bill. Also, just like letting people know, you know, like, hey, there are some boundaries. Wir können geteilte Meinung sein. Ich habe eine Meinung und du teilst sie. Ich habe eine Meinung und du teilst. What is that translated? That's interesting. So, we can have difference of opinions. I have an opinion. And translate that for me, Kenji. And I will learn some new German words. Quato said, oh, Sean and Friends, I started and finished book 1 and 2 of DCC. Great recommendation, great series. It is really good. I'm glad you like it. Is Nova said, I say you guys have a ton to be proud of. Phenomenal work so far. I've loved watching the progress on Eminem. Hey, thank you. I have an opinion and you share the opinion. Okay. I knew it was something in that ballpark. Appreciate that. It's the most my wife has seen me listen to a book probably ever. Oh, that's cool. Is she listening as well? We are a reflection of our dev parents. You know what? I do kind of think that is the case, though, right? Like our job is to help kind of like set the tone. We've got to police our tone the way we want it to be, right? Damn, painstakingly adding these assets in the game looks painful, to be honest. So Cherub Down, this is a running joke on the stream. It is 11 p.m. on a Friday. My days have been long this week, and my nights have been short. I will hop into stream and work on something, and I will be slow as shit. So look, I have done a total of like 2 apartments while talking on a stream for the last 3 hours, as opposed to when I'm not on stream. I will sit down and over a course of a couple sessions do something that looks more like this, right? So it's just, I am easily distracted. I am not capable of multitasking and like streaming and having discussions and reading chat. I'm mostly staring at chat, to be honest with you. And so it's just slow. And yeah. And so some people have commented in the past, no, you're not slowing down the release because this is my off time, right? I start at 8 p.m. I stream from 8 p.m. till 11. And I mean, I guess I could be, I don't know, watching TV or hanging out with my wife instead or something like that. So this is kind of after hours. It's Eminem after hours. Glass Lion Charlie, hey, thank you for the follow. Do you have towers of rentable house been thought of more? There is a tower in Shallow Shoals that I want to be my house. There is a tower in Shallow Shoals that's rentable. It's like a kind of a decrepit tower as well. Did you see my house is upstairs actually doesn't belong to the number, but rather the one behind it? I need to go through and like, is there somewhere where they're all posted? I don't know. All of the various bugs. There's definitely some weird ass implementations. Like sometimes some things get confused. Maybe because I did it on stream and you guys distracted me and it's all your fault. You submitted a ticket for it? Okay, then John's probably seen it and we'll get it. I need to go through all of them. Which house is yours? I'll fix it right now actually while I'm in here. Brave Flab said, hey, hey. Shina. Blue tower, yellow paint. This one? Yellow paint? Okay. And you said, so which one is yours? Let's fix it right now. Glass Lion Charlie said, thanks man, I heard a lot about Monsters and Memories and do a lot of game dev in my free time, so this is a good cross-section stream for me. Nice. Well, welcome. It's a geometry issue. Oh, okay, then that's a different problem. Am I going to be on for a bit? I'm not. I'm gonna go in just a little bit. Okay. So that's a house and the room above it doesn't belong to it, but rather, so you've got this room for some reason? It's a house. It's attached to neither house. Class-specific housing, mage tower, apartments require class. We may do some stuff like that in the future. Listen, Quatos, if that is your real name. So we got this house. And that is here. The tower. Oh yeah, you're right, it is a tower. So it should have this. So there's a volume here. Okay. Yes, you will be able to have crafting stations in your home, Kegborn and Dragon. Yeah, something does look funky. Oh, this was just some lazy implementation here on my part. All right, so this part's working fine for you, right? You said? In the patio. Well, in Germany, do you get some crazy good beer during this time of year, or is that an American thing? No, there's tons of great beer here. And the first years that I lived here, I did for sure. I stopped drinking. My wife and I started a 1-year no alcohol challenge like 2.5 years ago. So. Best German beer. What was kind of my favorite? It sounds like we got a lot of drinking catch up on. Maybe one of these days when I retire. I don't know what my favorite German beer is. Drank a lot of Hackebeck living in this area. I'm trying to fix this for Quatos. It's not just for me, it's for me. For we. Hey, I'm trying to fix this with Quatos' influence and help. Alright, so this really should be an additional volume. Let me... ...67, volume 101, so that's correct. And you said this area works? You said this works? Goiner, if I'm probably still screwing up the name. Anyway, thanks for being here. Have a good one. Be safe. Have a great weekend. Best German beer imported from Belgium. Yeah, Duvel. We gotta. My wife's family's from Cologne, and I still haven't seen that. Hellesbach, no, it's, what we drank a lot of in this area is Hackebeck. Tupac tried to buy my tower, but he only gets the main room. I bought that 3-level house, and he could stand in the upstairs even with my house locked. If you walk out the door, he gets kicked to the level 3 door. I honestly don't. I still don't know what you mean. But I see that this could, you know, we've got the tower volume here, which makes sense. Then we've got this volume here, but it should function all the way across. Like I said, it's a bit of a sloppy implementation on my part, but like, he should get kicked anywhere here. Here, here, and here. To make the deck neutral and door both ways into it. But there's no, this is, the only way into this room is from here. Grolsch makes sense. I've seen Grolsch, and I know if you're in Köln, then you probably drink Kölsch. But this does extend down into here, which is a bit funky. It just felt like the bottom room should also oh, wait. You think this should have this should go up. Hoop, I should probably get with you and just run through houses. You own all of them, right? But I do need to clean up this volume. This volume is sloppy. Only 3? Okay. I thought you owned more than that. I see why that's that way now, too. This is just sloppy. Let me just fix this. This is my fault for... This volume is my fault for just being a little lazy. I don't know when I did this. I think this is acceptable because it's just a tower. Come here. Clean this up. Why is this being so difficult? Okay. Okay. So we got that there. We've got a second volume here, which should extend. That's pretty good. So we'll bring this in. I mean, if to do this right, I actually should use several volumes. So where are we at on volumes? 486 that we'll do. Gate row is actually escape. Do I have some volumes up here that do I have a gap that I can go back to in the DB? I don't think I do. No gaps, just hundreds of volumes. Okay. Yeah, I mean, hopefully people really dig this system, and then it makes it worthwhile to put in like interesting, you know, inns that you can run and lighthouses and stuff like you're saying. That would be really great. Hopefully people dig it. Excuse me, just burped in your ears because it's Friday. I don't have heartburn anymore though. And this is house number 67. Great. We'll link this one. Somebody said, Toe Jam said, fun system Lord of the Rings Online was, I was thinking about was Ancestry and Family Tree mechanic. Basically, instead of exclusively a guild, it was a surname that allowed you to have player housing decorations between players, added to the vibe of sharing a house on two characters. That is kind of interesting. That's it. That is an interesting take of like linking players. Oh man, if it was house 69, I was gonna lose my mind. Oh, it's off by 2. I think I skipped 69 to save it for a special house. Is there a 69 in here? I think Ollie wanted that one. Let me go look. Houses. House. 68. 70. I think I skipped 69 save for a special house. I'm so glad that professional game devs think just like me. Put that house under the bathhouse. It'll be in the sewer. And Lollipop Adventures, thank you for the follow. 8 minutes ago. Yeah, I mean, I hate to break it to you, but those of you that have not worked in game development, some game development is like this. Our team is this way. I don't know what to tell you. All right, so we've got I'm gonna stay on stream until I finish this house. How about that? So we can say I accomplished like 3 things on stream. I am working overtime to fix your house, buddy. All right, so we got this volume. Let's go. Let's freaking go. It is volume 487. And we're gonna do it right this time. None of this. Enough of this screwing around. The inside needs to stay inside. So we'll stop there. We'll go here. Message me anytime. I'll show you some broken house spots. Gonna be back outside. Right on. Yeah, I'm in all seriousness. I'll go through. I'll see what John's got stacked up in terms of bugs for it, and we'll get on those, and then you guys, you experts, can take me on a home tour. Dude, I do believe that M&M real estate agent is going to be a vocation. There's so many interesting, unique houses out there, and we're just getting started. We're just getting started. It's crazy. I noticed a lot of people went from saying Night Harbor's too big to going, oh man, I really want to get a dope house. If this ever adds a staircase to the tower above, I'm going to lose my mind. I have talked to our dear Björn. about punching some holes in different houses. A lot of these should be able to have like rooftop access. Make it very sort of old school Middle Eastern. Oh yeah, why like a little platform here? Yeah, don't let us forget to maybe punch a hole in here and put a ladder in here. Oh yeah, a little access here. All right, let's finish this house. Darn it. I'm probably not going to watch TV tonight. I gotta finish Quatos's house. All right, so this is volume 487, house 67. Oops, why am I doing it that way? Control D. We're gonna do 488. 48 here. Cool. Duplicate in the database. Update 488. Great. Rooftop gardens, yeah, would be nice. So when we got gardening, you know, sort of the farming skill figured out, that'd be cool. Throb Grave said, the persistent housing in future I'm highly looking forward to. Glad to see a lot of work being put in. Yeah, right on. I honestly, I hope people are super into the feature and use it, and it works out well, and it leads to a good sense of place, and people have block parties and get to know their neighbors. Yeah, not messing with the German tax system, so I don't take any cash on stream. It's just not worthwhile. Who knows? Maybe I'll figure something out soon. I've got a meeting set up with some tax people to see if we can figure some stuff out before the game goes live. Clown Skates, thank you for the follow. Why do I keep doing that? Control B. 489. House 67. 489. You can't subscribe to me, but you can subscribe to the other guys on the team. Keep an eye out. Join our Discord and follow the stream notifications. I think Zach's streaming right now, working on some art. Nick said he's going to be streaming later today, probably. So if you have like questions about classes and abilities and other design stuff, hit him up. Hit him up. Hit him up. He'll be able to answer those questions. Those are always a fun discussion for folks, because we know your class and your abilities are very dear to your heart. Duplicate row 489. I hope nobody minds that I keep Night Harbor checked out overnight, because I'm just gonna go to bed after this. And then one more little volume to fill this window area here. Would that be 490? 490. $490. And let's get this guy figured out. And then later on, if we do provide access to the roof or to the tower or whatever, we'll add some more volumes. Push your changes, bro. No, I'm not. I refuse to push my changes tonight. Because I am so distracted on stream that there's no telling I might have busted some shit, and I want to check my changes before I push my changes. I want to be a responsible citizen. Some nice little house fixing for whoever gets enough cash to buy this first on live. Man, you're gonna have to go. You're gonna have to work. Is goal for Night Harbor to be a central hub? I assume. It's gonna be a you know, it's a major hub, but there's gonna be cities for each race as we go. Thermera, what's going on? We are super excited for early access. We want it to be as good as possible though. There's an issue with water someone may try to fix to pull in, but probably no big deal. Yeah, I mean Crazy India, thank you for the follow. All of this stuff should be relatively harmless. The worst case is one of the houses is a little goof troop or something. I think I actually fixed more bugs than I created today, though. This one's kind of cool. You got this whole, like, patio and stuff here. What's up, Simon? So I might actually... Yeah, I forgot people are probably working on... people are working on water and stuff. So I actually will check this in after I'm done streaming here. I'll do a little quick second glance at it and make sure nothing obvious is jacked, and then I'll check it in. That one connected all the way up, it would be the tits. It'd be maybe too good. Yeah, that would be a pretty monster house. Yeah, that's too much. That's like crazy guild house if that was all one big house. Right, because it connects over here as well. Love how much more stable it is this year than a year or so ago. It's a completely different game now. Yeah, the guys just keep working. They're beasts. You know what? This sign's gonna have to go over here. I'm sorry. I can't have these other two signs be above it. Plus, it was such a tight spot between the window and the door there. Did not look right. What's the cheapest house you can rent? We've got some little one-room studios, like this one right over here to my left. You will be able to put furniture in your house. You'll be able to make furniture to put in your house. You'll be able to buy furniture from other people to put in your house. You'll be able to put other people's furniture in your house, probably. I need astronomy eventually. So here's a nice windowless studio for a young bachelor new to the city. It's a fixer-upper. Sure, you don't have a window, but maybe a nice painting. Maybe a painting of a window. A painting of the harbor would go right here. Good. Maybe throw a rug in. It'll be good. $1,400 a month, yes. I see. You understand modern real estate prices. That was not a mistell. You know what you're saying. So anyway, this is in here. Does it have a volume? 50. We got a door. The door is here. 54. Door 60. Cool. It doesn't have a volume, so let's give this guy a volume, and then we're good, I think. For right now. Duplicate. Bring that volume out here. Make it a wee bit smaller to get started. Move it into the right folder. And then we're going to, and we'll label this one small. We gotta set all the prices and stuff later. Small. So we'll have to go through and price each one of these. Space Juice said, I know you probably hear this all the time, but thank you so much, you and the team, for bringing a game that would recapture my old school gaming days that I look back on so fondly. Played several playtests, and it's super fun and gives me all the right feels, or gives me all the feels. Hey, thank you. Thank you, Space Juice, for taking the time to say that. Believe it or not, it really does. It means a lot every time someone, provides that. It's like, it's cool. We're working in the hopes that people feel that way. So when we hear it, that's the reward right now. We hope people get in, enjoy it, stick with it. We hope that feeling doesn't go away. We hope that you stick around for years and enjoy being a part of the community. Maybe introduce it to people that have never had that experience before. Also, $15 a month. $15 a month. That's what we're here for. We want that $15 a month. Hopefully forever. Humdrum is out of here. All right. Enjoy. Have a great weekend. I hope the game goes well for you. I hope you win the World Series. This is going to be $4.90. $54. Cool. This is $154. $4.90. Static. Static. Not static. What's the idea behind housing? Provide extra storage space, special benefits, crafting, yes. Appreciate it, Space Juice. Alright, so, and that was $4.90. Let's make sure we got that set up properly. Duplicate row with keys. $4.90. House number 154. Cool. 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 Hit save. Introduced my cousin to, he was absolutely loving it during the playtest. That's awesome. It's crazy how many people have brought family members and significant others into the game with them. That's so positive. That's so good to hear. That's so feel good. Yeah, it's just fantastic. And we appreciate you guys. Every time you're like, hey, how do we help you guys, or how do we give you money or whatever, definitely stop by the other streams and give those guys a sub or whatever. We really appreciate that. But yeah, the best way to help us right now is to grab the people in your life that you think may enjoy it and drag them in and help them get through the tough spots and get them used to the game, get them hooked. Make them fully addicted to the game. Make it so that if all they had was $15, they would give it to us. Completely brainwash them, turn them into fiends, and you guys just hang out with us forever. Forever. Are you guys gonna try to have a modern quality of life pass? We may tweak some things here and there for first time user experience and other stuff, but we're making it when people talk about the vibe of the game, there's some things that we can change and not ruin the vibe of the game. There's some things we can improve on the UX or first time user experience or whatever, for sure. Not saying there isn't. But a lot of the secret sauce is the funk. When you're like, oh man, that's kind of funky. That's old and funky. We don't do things like that anymore. If it's when you say the tooltips are painful, to be honest, we've got to be more specific. If it's like they're not readable enough, or the placement's weird, or we want certain information, those are all things that we can look at and evaluate and potentially take action on. But if they're just painful, I know for a fact that the tooltips cannot cause damage in game, and I know for a fact that the tooltip cannot cause you personal real-life damage. We have a lawyer on the team, and he has verified that that is the case. He is in here now. Our beautiful Baloo. So, is the tooltip in the room with you right now? Emotional damage, that's kind of your problem. But yeah, a lot of the rest of the stuff that people are like, could you just, I like everything but the game, about the game, but could you change this one thing? We're like, no, that is get your finger out of the secret sauce. We got it. We've got it covered. All right, guys, it's 11:23. We're going to wrap up here. Is there somebody that I should be rating right now? Is Zach still on doing art or whatever? Let me look. ZBrush is on. All right, let's set up a raid for ZBrush, and you guys have a fantastic weekend. Hey, if Nick's streaming later, he'll probably have some keys. Keep an eye out. Breflab. I will not be able to pronounce any of that correctly, but I will say Heidu. Heidu. My wife could read that, I cannot. But you can speak Swedish to me anytime you want. I love it. I just don't understand. Jack Hollow said, I love MMOs, but I was too young to play EQ and similar games when they came out. Eminem will be the first MMO with that philosophy. I'm really looking forward to a true online RPG where I can take my time and smell the roses. Thanks for your hard work. I hope EA isn't too far away. I'll play this game with my girlfriend, right on, who's never played games before. So it'll be interesting and hopefully a fantastic adventure. It should be. Keep up the great work. Jack Hollow, thank you very much. That is a wonderful first time chat if I've ever read one. Just keep an eye out. We'll have playtests up until EA. EA should be Q1 of next year. We'll let you know if that's got to move for any reason, but we're coming in hard. Pause. We are making great progress. So we are excited to have you and your girlfriend. Do you guys know if you're putting measures in to prevent cheating like EQ program show you? Yes, we've been doing a lot of little things to assist on that front, Angry Iguana. On a future stream, we can talk about it in more detail. Anyways, you guys, thank you for the good nights. I'm sorry that I'm not doing the usual thing where I try to say good night to all of you. But just can't. Hey, speaking of painting, there he is, Vexforge. I'm so glad that you said it again. I saw it earlier. I meant to respond. I got distracted. That is an awesome painting. That is a very cool painting. The team was like, wouldn't it be cool if we could put this painting in game, but we would have to get you to sign a release for us to be able to do that. But anyways, thanks again for being here. See all of you on Discord. Don't forget to join the Discord. Let's raid. For those of you that are sticking around, let's raid Zach. I'm going to set up the raid right now, and then I'm going to get out of here. Check in Night Harbor. Go to bed. Raid. Why doesn't it just show me? Zach. Search. ZBrushed. There he is. Let's do it. Start the raid. He's AFK for 1 second. But he's gonna be, it looks like he's working on something cool. So he's AFK. When you get there, he'll be AFK, but then stick around for him. Get up, take a leak, get another drink, wait for him to reappear, give him some love, follow, sub, all that good stuff. I'm gonna raid now. See you guys.